Hi, Linda Maricoll, and today I'm going to do a demonstration of how I use the healing sounds as a practice, doing all of the healing sounds together. In session, when I'm working with a client, I might do just an individual sound, so there's no harm in that whatsoever. But as a personal practice, I like to do the sounds combined as one practice and open all the segments. So just to recap, how the healing sounds are so beneficial to us, and I believe that they are. As we go through life, things come up outside of us, things happen, people come along, situations evolve, and that comes into my inner world. When it mixes with my judgments, my beliefs, my experiences, all this maybe known and unknown, a movement of energy automatically arises in response. Then I move with that energy. The mind labels that energy often as an emotion. So, for instance, I feel a contraction in the chest. My mind then says, "Oh, that was so sad." So the body, as a body worker, I'm into the world of feelings. I'm not as concerned about the emotional labels. So the movement of energy is really a good thing. It's about it's nature's way of providing us what we need to deal with what we're encountering. And what we need to deal with it, or even if we have to deal with it, is purely a relationship between us and that situation or object. It doesn't belong to either one individually. We cannot change outside objects, but we can begin to explore our feelings and the beliefs that drive those feelings, particularly if those feelings begin to get in our way, begin to cause us to act in ways that isn't working for us. They're wonderful, wonderful trailheads to come to the beliefs that drive those feelings that are burdensome. So it's how we do that, though, we need a little bit of space internally. So what happens with the body is a situation comes up, and particularly if it's reminding me of a situation that's happened before. So I have the feelings from what happened before, and I have the feelings with what's happening now. For instance, let's take the coronavirus, which is happening now. I'm personally experiencing a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, worry, all sadness, all types of feelings. They are about what's happening now. However, they're also mixed with parts of me that have experienced that in the past. So it can be a little more intense than it has to be, because the parts from the past may be quite young. And so these parts, that carry these beliefs, that create these movements of energy, may become what we call blended, meaning in the driver's seat. So I can't open my business. I have a part of me that is experiencing intense worry. Nothing's happening with stimulus or anything like that. So all these years, everything I've worked for is going to be gone, is going to be lost, and so on. So that part is very, very blended. It's in the driver's seat. Underneath of all our parts is what IFS, the psychotherapy that I've studied, would call self-energy. It's what lies beneath our parts. And when too many parts get blended in, there's no space for that self-energy to come in. What it does is it heals. So if we can create just a little crack in that blended part that is carrying, in my case, so much worry, so much, the sky is falling type feeling, be able to be present and get to know that part, get to know what it is is afraid would happen if it didn't worry? What is the different times in my life that it's had to worry? When is the first time it's had to worry? What does it need to feel supported? And validate, be present, be aware of that part of myself. That is where that self-energy can heal and can allow those younger parts of me to unburden the beliefs that they carried about. Maybe one of the beliefs is no one will ever be there to support me. I can be there to support me now. So when I can get that unblending and unburden those younger parts of me, it is just the grown-up, 60-some-year-old parts dealing with the coronavirus. And that's a different story. Yeah, it's still some anxiety, but hey, I can deal with it. So the healing sounds help move that energy along. Because what can happen is other parts of me may have the belief that the feeling of that anxiety, say the feeling of anger, the feeling of fear, the feeling of sadness, may overwhelm my entire system. So it can't allow that to happen. And one of the things it may do is clamp down segments of the body in the muscles so I don't feel that energy moving. Because somehow to my mind, hey, I don't feel the energy moving, this isn't happening. So using the healing sounds, we don't need a Grand Canyon of space. We just need a crack, a little teeny bit for that heart, that self-energy, which I describe because I've heard described as open-hearted curiosity. It has no agenda. It doesn't even care if that part changes. It just is really curious about what is going on with it. So if I encounter, I might have another part when I check in about how I feel towards my worriedness, my worried part. You might say, well, I don't like it. It bothers me. It limits me. I want to get rid of it. That's another part. Breathe space and continue to breathe space until you come to a place that is simply an open-hearted curiosity. That is where the healing begins. If, as a practitioner of body work, and certainly any type of practitioner, one thing I can promise you that I've learned in my process, for whatever it is, whatever emotion or feeling or experience that I cannot be present within myself, I cannot be present with my client. And unconsciously, I will shut it down. That's not what I want to do as a practitioner. The key is to heal myself. The key is to explore myself. So whether we're working with clients and we're using this as a way for them to create space in the body, or whether we're working as ourself wanting to create space in the body, the healing sounds are a fabulous way to get these parts to loosen their grip a little bit, or maybe the jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the chest, solar plexus, hips, whatever segment. So enough said. We will begin to do the healing sound. So I begin. We're going to breathe in and out through the nose. And I begin by getting myself settled into the body. So if it's comfortable for you, you can shut your eyes. You don't have to shut your eyes. Totally up to you. The Tibetan Buddhists meditate in a really beautiful way where they use a soft eye. Their eyes aren't totally shut, but they're just kind of gazing down. That's a really nice thing too. So whatever is most comfortable for you to do. Inhale and exhale. And as I settle into the body, it means I bring my awareness to my senses. So I'll pick a sense. Sound. I become aware of the sounds in the room around me. I name them in my mind. And after I find about 4 or 5 of them, I bring my awareness to what I physically feel on my body, what it feels like for my body in the chair, the temperature in the room, my clothing on my body, how it feels as my chest inhales and exhales. And I continue by bringing my awareness to anywhere in the body I may feel tension, feel like something is holding, gripping. And I breathe in and out from my heart, letting each breath settle me deeper into the heart. So we'll begin with the healing sounds, and we're going to begin with the lung. I like to hold points to activate the lung, little finger and thumb. You can put your hands over your lungs. And the color for the lungs, it's in the metal element, is white. The emotion that can injure the lungs because the feeling is a contraction in the chest is sadness. So take a moment or two breathing in and out from the lungs. Connect with any feelings of sadness that may be there. If they're not, it's okay. Become aware of what it feels like in the area of your lungs as you inhale and exhale. And I'll demonstrate one sound for the lungs. It's a snaky kind of sound. So let us take a deep breath in. Come back to a regular breath. Check in. Just check if it feels any different around the lungs. Don't have to. And now we're going to move to the heart. The heart, we're going to hold the 2 first fingers, I guess index finger and middle finger. The color is red, ruby red. It's part of the fire element. Shock, overexcitement, dissociation, not being totally grounded in the body, injures the heart. And the sound for the heart is an ah sound. So before we do the sound, let's take a breath or two. Connect with the heart, connect with any part of you that might be feeling a little dissociated, a little disconnected. Deep breath in. Come back to the regular breath. Feel your heart beating. It's a nice sound. Now we're going to move to the kidneys. Fear. Fear injures the kidneys. Fear is a dissension of energy in the body for fight or flight. It can lock up the hips to keep ourselves from feeling that feeling. Fingers, 2 middle fingers, the color, beautiful blue. Inhale and exhale from the kidney. And the healing sound for the kidneys is a sound. So let's take 1 or 2 breaths before the sound. Connect with the kidneys, connect with any feelings of fear. And deep breath in. Come back to a regular breath. Check in with the hips. Explore if there's any more space. It don't have to be. Doesn't matter. And we move to the liver, and the color is green. I guess I'm feeling a little liverish today. And the fingers are middle and little fingers, and the feeling is a rising of energy opposite for the kidneys, and that relates to anger, rising up to the eyes, the voice, and the hands. Inhale and exhale. And the sound is a puckered lip, curled tongue. I'll demonstrate one. It sounds like that. So let's take 2 breaths, connect with the liver and any feelings of anger, frustration, anything like that that might be present. And deep breath in. Come back to a regular breath. So we've opened this upper jaw segment, ocular segment, neck. And now we come to the solar plexus, the spleen, ring finger and thumb. The color is yellow. Worry. One of my personal favorites, worry. Breathe in and out from the spleen. And I'll demonstrate one very guttural sound. Sounds like that. A little creepy. Or not. Who knows? So, deep breath in. And come back to the regular breath. Unlike other things we experience in the Chinese system, there is a healing sound for the sexual organs. Kind of falls under a lesser fire element. So since I'm female, I'm going to make the color pink. You can make it whatever color suits you and whatever emotion may be relating to it for the day. Take your choice. Ring finger and thumb. Even for people, particularly women, may not have all their sexual organs. Doesn't matter. The energy's still there. And that's a he sound. So let's take a couple of breaths. Connect to the sexual organs. And deep breath in. So now let's come back, having opened all the segments, and explore internally what we are feeling in this whole kaleidoscope of feelings and colors, and smile into it. One of my favorite teachers would say, smile into it, and one of these days it will be smiling back. Smile into it and it will be smiling back. So now, having created that space, begin to explore any parts that might be holding, gripping. Find out about them. So that is the healing sounds. You can do them as frequently as you like to. That is the end of this series of video blogs. We'll continue with the next. I don't know what they will be, but I will say they will be there soon. Stay well, stay happy, and I hold everyone in my heart.